All right, let's just jump right in. If you're running a business, you know this feeling, right? You've got interests, people are filling out your forms, they're sending you messages, but trying to keep track of all of that can feel impossible. So today, we're going to break down exactly how this platform, Go High Level, uses a really powerful system to make sure that every single potential deal gets the attention it needs. This is probably the biggest fear for any business that's trying to grow. Someone shows interest, they reach out, and then nothing. Poof. Maybe their email got buried or their note just got lost in some massive spreadsheet. The reality is, without some kind of automation, so many of those leads just disappear. It's a huge and honestly a totally preventable loss of opportunity. And this is where Go High Level, or GHL as pretty much everyone calls it, comes into the picture. The best way to think of it is like a central command center for all your sales and marketing stuff. It's literally built to solve that exact problem of leads getting lost by creating one unified system to handle everything, from that very first hello to the final handshake. Okay, so first things first, let's look at how a brand new lead even gets into the system to begin with. A potential customer can really come from anywhere, right? They might fill out a contact form on your website, or maybe they answer a survey, or they could even just slide into your DMs on social media. But what's really cool here is that GHL can even pull in leads from basically any other platform out there using something called a custom webhook. Now, don't let the techie name scare you. Just think of a webhook as a little digital messenger that automatically tells GHL, hey, something just happened over here. The main thing is, no matter where they come from, they all end up in the exact same place. So the lead is now in the system. Great. What happens now? Well, this is where we meet the real engine behind Go High Level, workflows. This is the automated brain that's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Okay, I'm going to be real with you here. When you first open up the workflow builder, it can look a little intimidating. And this user quote just nails it, right? He says it's this catch-22 where there's a ton of flexibility, which is amazing, but it also means it's going to take you a little while to find your rhythm. I think the biggest mistake people make is trying to build this gigantic, complex workflow from day one. The secret? Just start small. Automate one simple little thing, and then you can build from there. So let's just demystify what a basic workflow actually is. It's really just a simple if this, then that command. The if is what we call the trigger. So, for example, if a customer submits your claim offer form. The then is the action. Then, Go High Level automatically creates a new deal or an opportunity for that person right inside your system. That's it. No one has to lift a finger. Now, that workflow, it just runs silently in the background, but the result is something you, as the business owner, can actually see and use. And this brings us to the real aha moment: opportunities and pipelines. I love this quote from a walkthrough video because it just perfectly captures that feeling. The second that form gets submitted, boom, a new card representing that person and their potential deal just pops into existence in your sales pipeline. It's not just another line in a spreadsheet. It's this tangible, visual thing that represents a real opportunity for your business. The absolute best way to understand a pipeline is to picture a digital assembly line for your deals. Every single new lead starts at the very beginning, and your job is to simply move them from one station to the next until they get to the end, which is either, a won or a lost deal. It just brings so much order to what can be a really chaotic process. Okay, so the automation has done its part. It's delivered the lead right to your doorstep. Now it's time for the human touch. Let's take a look at how your team actually uses this pipeline to manage the deal. Honestly, managing the deal is as simple as dragging and dropping. When the card first shows up, it's in the new lead column. After you make that first call or send that first email, you just click and drag it over to contacted. Once you've set up a meeting, you guessed it, drag it over to appointment booked. It is an incredibly simple, super intuitive way to see exactly where every single one of your deals is at, just at a glance. And this slide just shows the whole transformation perfectly. On the left, you've got the before. That's the chaos of messy spreadsheets and lost sticky notes. Then on the right, you've got the after, the beautiful clarity of a clean visual pipeline where every single lead is tracked and nothing, absolutely nothing, falls through the cracks. It's really the difference between guessing and knowing. And hey, this isn't just a theory. There was a case study about a realtor who put these GHL workflows in place to automate her follow-ups. And the result? She increased her client engagement by over 40%. That is a massive impact, and it's driven purely by organizing and automating the very beginning of her sales process. So the system is obviously really powerful, but is it perfect? Well, to get a balanced view, we actually dug into some community forums to see what real users are saying. And the feedback, it's a really interesting mix. You have users who rave about it being an all-in-one sales and marketing tool, absolutely, and they see its huge potential. But then, on the flip side, you have people pointing out that some features can feel clunky, specifically the built-in system for making calls. And others have noticed that some of the help guides feel a little bit outdated. So yeah, it's a really powerful tool for sure, but it's not without a few rough edges. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, Go High Level's pipelines and workflows can really fundamentally change the way you handle new business. The most crucial point is this. By automating the capture and the initial organization of all your leads, you free up your team's most valuable resource, their time. They can stop chasing down information, they can stop doing manual data entry, and instead, they can focus all of their energy on the human side of the business, building relationships and closing deals. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. Just imagine for a second a world where you never had to worry about a lead getting lost ever again, where every new prospect was automatically organized and just sitting there ready for your team. If that entire process was just handled, what could you and your business truly achieve?